All right, everyone, we are going to go ahead and get started now. If we just make sure that you can hear me okay. Probably should have done this a minute ago, but good, cool. And we're all seeing Infusionsoft. I just want to double check on that before we get rolling. Should be looking at the Infusionsoft basic training. You can just comment. Yep. Yes. Got it. Cool. All right. First things first, I'm going to cover a couple of different things here to start. We sent you all a video, which is also uploaded to the members area. We sent you an email, I should say, about a video that Frank just shot that will kind of give you an overview of all of the campaigns. So it's sort of a 30,000 foot view of everything that these campaigns cover. What their purpose is, what each of them looks to accomplish, how best to use them in your business, and kind of how to come up with a strategy for, which ones should I launch, what works for me. So watch that video. It's like an hour long, so we went pretty in depth on it, and that should give you kind of a clear understanding, because that's a question I've been getting a lot. Well, how do I know which of these I should launch first? And it can be overwhelming if you're trying to set all of them up. So that is what we recorded that for. So you will have that to kind of fall back on and give you an overview and everything that they are accomplishing. The other thing we did is sent you a link to the Facebook group. The Facebook group is meant really for you guys to connect with each other and kind of use each other as resources. Our team will be in there as well. If you have questions on stuff, we'll answer as quickly as possible. But really, I would try to take advantage of networking with other people and asking, like, hey, what kind of results are you guys seeing on this? Have you tried testing this? I'm sure a lot of you have more data and stuff that is kind of out of our expertise that you can provide to the group. So we want you to be able to provide value to each other instead of just us giving you stuff. So hopefully that makes sense. So join the link, just request to join, and I will accept you. If you have like a tech person or something that's running these campaigns and you want them to have access, please let me know who that person is. Because they're not on our list as having purchased this product, then I'm going to not let them in the group. We want to keep this group just for the people that have purchased this. And we always get people, like random people that just, I don't know, they just search for Frank's name or do whatever, and they end up, trying to join the group. So if you have a tech person, just let me know. Say, hey, this guy's trying to join. He's with me, and I can give them access. It's like having a +1, for a date. Can't bring anyone you want, but if you have a person, okay, I'll let them in. Cool. Any questions on that? Any trouble? Any questions on the video on that? I also posted that video is also in the Facebook group, the campaign overview. So if you didn't get a chance to watch it in the members area, you can do so there. I will also post the call recordings from these support calls in there as well as the members area. So you'll have access. The members area will kind of have an archive of all of them, like it is now. But the Facebook, it'll be posted right away. Well, not right away. I have to upload it, but usually same day it should be in there. If not, it'll be the following morning. So if you can't catch the call live and want the recording, it will be in there. All right. Now we are going to get into some questions. I did get some good ones. Going to show you some cool things. Let's pop over to the auto launch campaign real quick. And like I said, as always, if you guys have questions, you can type them in the box at any time, and I can go through and make sure to get those answered. Okay, oops, I'm not in the right campaign here, the right app, I should say. to the auto launch. I got a couple questions. A lot of people must be doing this because I got a couple questions on this campaign this week. First one, can you explain what the placeholder sequence is and how we would set up the diamond after it? So I'll start with that. This is what is called a decision diamond in Infusionsoft. Anytime you have a sequence that connects to two separate sequences, like this connects to auto launch send video 1 and auto launch already purchased, then Infusionsoft will automatically populate a decision diamond. So for instance, if I have this sequence, and this sequence, so they're starting here. As soon as I connect to this one, that decision diamond will magically appear. And the point of that is because Infusionsoft wants to know, hey, how do I know which place to send these guys? So basically, it gives you some logic and some rules. So if I double click on this, you can see how we have this one set up right here. If the contacts tags doesn't contain, and then we have a purchase tag. So really what this is for is if you want to run people through an auto launch that are on your list and you want to just drop everyone in there, well, if someone's already bought this product, then you don't want to sell it to them again. You don't want to drop them in that same campaign. So this decision diamond is basically taking a look and saying, okay, do they have the purchase tag for this product? So you probably replace this tag with, you should create a purchase tag for your products, purchased consulting, purchased X product X, and then just tag everyone who purchases, just so you know. And then also for stuff like this, if you want to exclude people that have purchased this product, that's what this will do automatically. So we have the rules set up. So it says rules for auto launch send video 1. The contacts tags doesn't contain the purchase tag, we want them to go there. If it contains that, meaning they already purchased, then we want to send them to the already purchased sequence. So it sets up rules for each of those sequences. And you could have 10 sequences here with separate rules for each one. So here we're just kind of filtering out, okay, they didn't purchase, send them video 1. They did purchase, send them here, and then we'll send them to another campaign that is selling a separate product, or we'll send them to a Goodwill or something. But we don't want to resell to people who have already purchased our product. A couple of people actually had questions on that, so I'm going to open up a new campaign and we're going to kind of go through some other cool uses for that decision diamond. New support campaign. Okay, so I'm going to show you here how to create an application or a survey within Infusionsoft. Now, you could use this for Survey Siphon. You could use the application if you're on a webinar and you're taking consulting clients or something like that, but you don't want to hop on a call with everyone. One thing we do is make people fill out an application. So I'm going to kind of go through how you would set that up right here. So we'll call this application. Like I said, if you wanted to do surveys in Infusionsoft, this is how you would do it as well. Now, I will say I would still recommend like SurveyMonkey for doing surveys, just because it's much easier and you have more kind of control over the look and feel of it, because that's its whole purpose, is a survey. So you can do it in Infusionsoft, it's just not, it's not the greatest. So we'll click on this, and I'm going to go through this, how I would set up an application. So first name, email, that's fine. I'm going to collect that. And then there's some other questions I want to ask them. So I'm going to click on this Field Snippets tab. First thing I'm going to ask is, I'm going to pull down a radio. I'm going to give them a radio option. So this question is going to be, how much does your business make? We want to know that, right? It's valuable. We want to know if the people we're getting on the phone with have a business, how much does it make? So I guess we could ask, do you have a business? Are you looking to start a business? These are just some examples. If you're, in different markets, it could be a health and fitness question, like what are your goals? Lose weight, gain muscle, something. So I'll add some options here. $0. Where's my little thing? I'll do 5K to 10K. Add one more here. And these will be monthly, 5 to 10K. Very, very low numbers, but I'm just kind of making this up as I go. So we'll say per month. Required, yes. And then we'll save that. Save. Okay, so we have our first question, simple. Radio button. Now, what if you want them to fill in stuff? What if they can't select it from, a radio option? Right here, there's a little other section. So we are going to drag that in. Which field? So with all of these, it is going to store in Infusionsoft in a custom field. So when it's asking which field right here, it's giving you all of the fields that are in your Infusionsoft account, and then any custom ones that you created. So you should see some of our custom fields in there as well. For this one, I don't have a field for it yet, so I'm going to go down to the very bottom and create a custom field. And this question is going to be, tell me about your business. So that is a pretty open-ended question. That's not something you can select from a drop-down. I guess I could say, which of these best describes your business, services, products, coaching, whatever. I could ask it like that. I can say, tell me about your business. They have to type in, kind of more of a paragraph. So from this little type, I'm going to choose text area. Now, there's all these other options as well. So if I wanted to ask them, all these other questions, you can come up with questions. You can put currency. You can have it be a date. So you select a date that works for you. It can be used for booking. They can select a date. Social security number, website, year, all this stuff can be used as a custom field. Most of the ones you will probably use are the radio one, which I just showed you. This text one, this text area one, which gives them kind of more characters to use. It gives you like a paragraph. And the drop down. A drop down is just, select your option from the drop down. Similar to a radio, but a little bit different. So I'm going to select text area. Save this field. Now here's the field and here's the label. The label is what they're going to see. So that's going to basically be the question. We'll hit save. And now we have our little text area. So you can kind of see how this is starting to take shape, starting to make sense a little bit. Let's do one more. So I'll drag one more do this one quick. I'm going to do a drop down here. Which field? I'll need to create a field. Let's see if I have one I can already use here. I don't. So that's fine, I'll create a new one. And for this will be which best describes Even though we just asked that, it wouldn't actually be what I would ask here, but you get the idea. Then from the drop down, I'll select services. Each time you space it here, that's what's creating the new drop-down list. Consulting, products, those would be like physical products, you get the idea. Save this. And now I have my drop-down right there. So I have my area, my radio. I can kind of create my application from here. So let's go back to the campaign. Now, say someone filled that out, and we want to disqualify people, basically, based on their answers. Come on, there it goes. So you can see that decision diamond pops up there. So now we've got 3 sequences. I want to separate these people based on how they answered the question, how much money does your business make? So I'm going to give them unique responses based on how they answered that question. So instead of just saying, hey, thanks for filling out your form, I can say, hey, that's awesome. I see your business isn't currently making any money. So that's what I'm doing in this sequence. Oops. I think I did over 10K. I think that's what the possible answers were. Can't really remember, but so then I can go in this decision diamond, click on it, and it will give me rules for each of those sequences. You'll see rules for make 0 money, rules for 5 to 10K, rules for over 10K. So make 0 money, I'm going to hit rule. And then it's going to kind of walk you through how to set up this criteria. So I could do contacts or I could do form submission. So I'm going to do form submission because that's what they just filled out. So it's reading from the form that's connected to this option. And then how much does your business make? 0, 5 to 10K per month, over 10K. So this one's going to be 0. And then it's going to is selected. So if the form submissions option, how much does your business make? $0 is selected. So it kind of words it in a weird way, but you get the idea. If they selected that, it's going to send them to this sequence. And then I'm just going to go through on this one and set up the exact same thing. But I'm going to do for, they selected 5 to 10K per month. Now, if I wanted everyone to get one of these sequences, like one of them could be a thank you sequence, all right, you want everyone to get that, I could just leave this as blank. If I leave it blank here, I don't set up any rules, then everyone will go to this one. And yes, they can be in 2 at once. So if I leave this one blank, everyone's going to go into the over 10K, but also they're going to go into the one they selected. Now, obviously that wouldn't make sense here because if they selected over 10K, they would only go into that one because they would be disqualified from the other 2. But you get the idea. If you have just a standard sequence that's like a thank you sequence, then and you leave it blank, everyone will go into that one. And they'll also go into, whichever logic you set up. So they could also end up in this one, which is cool because you can send an instant thank you. Hey, thanks for filling out your form, yada, yada, yada. And you can kind of do it that way. But now for this one, I can have separate marketing go to them. So say I don't want to contact these people. Like, hey, you don't make money. Sorry, we're not a good fit for you. But here's a free ebook on something. Here's a free gift. Here's a free, you give them something of value because you don't want to just say, hey, no, we're not interested in you. Because, if they start making money, we want them to come back to you. So help them get where they're trying to go. But maybe they're not a good fit for this particular product because you're looking for businesses, that make between X and Y amount of dollars. So You could say, this email could be like, hey, thanks for filling out your application. We really appreciate it. At this time, you're not a good fit. We would love to help you when your business starts to grow. In the meantime, I would check out product X and learn how to grow your business using something. And you could, downsell them to another product or do something like that. For these people, maybe you set up a task to call them tomorrow. So you have that on your list. Maybe you send them an email, say, hey, thanks, we'll be in touch tomorrow. These people, the over 10K, maybe you don't even send them an email. Maybe you just get on the phone and call them right away. Like right when an application hits, you have a queue to, okay, we're going to call them because they are hot leads. They fit our target. They fit everything we want to do. So just a couple of options there on kind of how those decision diamonds work and how powerful they can be if you really know how to set them up and use them. There's a lot of cool things you can do. We use these. We have an application. We filter people out based on how they respond to certain questions. We don't want our sales reps getting on the phone with every single person that ever has opted in and stayed on the webinar or stayed on watched an entire video. That would not be beneficial to them, and it wouldn't be beneficial to us. We want to kind of segment out the most qualified leads and make it as automated as possible. So just kind of some options for what you can do here. See if there's any questions in here. Can plus this links be used to A/B test landing pages straight in Facebook, or does that only work inside Infusionsoft? You can split test them. If you're just testing like opt-ins, you can do it just by the same way, like kind of how I showed you on the previous call. So if you didn't catch that, you go rewatch that. And just tag them. So if they filled out landing page A, they get the tag A. If they filled out landing page B, meaning they converted, they opted in, get the tag landing page B. So you can kind of see, okay, this one's converting more, and you're just reading the tags basically. You're saying, okay, well, I've sent the same amount of traffic to each of these, and I have 50 tag A's and 20 tag B's. So you can kind of be like, okay, this one seems to be working better. So you can kind of do it that way. Do you know what makes an email from Infusionsoft go to promotions in Gmail versus normal email? I do not. It's something with kind of the servers, and a lot of times with the MailChimp and sort of some of these marketing automation tools, that will happen. They'll end up in the promotions tab. I don't know. That might be a question for Infusionsoft if they have any tips on how to not have it go there. They'll probably say like, have your people whitelist your domain, have them, they'll probably say double opt-in help, which they may. We don't do double opt-ins, not because we don't think they work, but we just have never done it. We've never noticed a sizable difference in either deliverability or anything like that, so we don't really use them. Like I said, not to say that they don't work or they're not best practice. If you're using them, continue to use them. We just do not. So yeah, that might be a question for Infusionsoft support to see if they have any tips for that. I'm not sure if there's a way to get them out of there. We don't worry about it too much. I kind of think a lot of people check both of those tabs now anyway, just because they're so used to. I know I get a lot of valuable emails that end up in there, and some of them are from people that I know, not from companies or not from. So I don't really know. I don't know how Gmail sorts that, but anyway. Okay, what if, so paid applications, that's another thing that was brought up. We want to deliver the application to our customers, but we want them to pay for it first. So we do that here as well. So you're probably copying our model. It's all right. So we charge $100 to kind of get on a call and get a blueprint design. This is for one of our programs. $100 to get on the call, you have a blueprint designed. If we're not a good fit, we will refund that money to you. If you are, then it goes towards purchasing. So we just want people to kind of take that extra step and have to jump through hoops a little bit in order to work with us. We want the most hungry and qualified people. So how do you do that? First, you have to set up your order form. So you go into e-commerce setup. I think I've showed you how to do this before, but you can certainly cover it again. We'll go to order forms right under the little checkout tab. And you'll notice I have all of these order forms. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new one. And I always end up new order form because I can never come up with a cooler name than that. Perfect. Support call. That should help. Okay. That is going right now. So then we add a product right here. If you double click on there, you'll see that from the drop down, you can select whatever product you would like. I've already created them. Coaching call, perfect. Add that to my order form. Then we're gonna hit add product. It's gonna drop it down there. It's got my price loaded in. I can sell it as one time. I can sell it as a subscription. I can do everything I need to there. So if you want to set that up and then have an application, on this thank you page right here, grab the link from, I'll show you how to do that real quick. And go into the application we just set up that I just walked you through. Double click on it. Up in the settings. Sorry, in the code, under this code section, use the hosted version. It can give you two options here. There's really no difference. There's the pretty one, which just kind of says the campaign name, and then there's the URL, which is just a bunch of numbers. They both function the exact same. There's no different in there, so I'm going to go ahead and copy the pretty URL. So now I've got the link for my order form. If I put this in my browser, it will pull up that application. I haven't published it yet. If I published it, it will pull up all the changes I just made. So it'll pull it up with all my questions. So now this is my order form. I've got my price set for my product. They're paying, and then they're going to fill out an application. On this thank you page to display, I'm going to select web address. And then I'm just going to paste in the application link. I'm going to hit save, and now that is all set up. So if I'm on a webinar and I'm selling, this coaching call, I'm selling this product, I'm saying, hey, you have to pay X amount of dollars, then we're going to give you an application, and then if you're a good fit, we'll hop on the call and take it from there. If not, we'll refund you that money and give you some other kind of gift for free. So now I can just grab the link here. Again, same thing. There's a little custom URL or just a standard order form URL. If I click it, there is my order form with very basic logo, very basic. I've set up payment plans and stuff before from previous tests, so that's why you're seeing the single payment, 3 payments, the live event. So now you have that set up. I can paste that into one of my Megaphone pages. I have the link right there. So if I have a VSL in Megaphone, I could set, the buy now link could be this link right here. Then they purchase, Then they get the application. Then once they fill out the application, all that automation we have set up is triggered to go. So if they're not a good fit, we email them and say, hey, we are going to refund you. Sorry that this isn't a good fit, yada, yada, yada. So you get the idea. So you can see how this all kind of can connect together just based on where you're making these offers and how you're making them. Any questions on that? We discuss product categories. Sure. I don't know if I have seen a ton of use cases for these. So within your products, I'll go to the big list of products, you can have categories as well. So if you have, a couple of different courses or something, or say you have, a course on generating traffic, a course on increasing sales, a course on, or maybe you have a handful of courses, maybe you have 5 courses on and 5 trainings, whatever that you're selling, all on increasing traffic. And then so you put that in a category of increasing traffic, or, and you can do that from the product section. So I have a live event. Categories, I only have one selected, main product category. If you have other ones created, for instance, traffic, sales, marketing, whatever, those are just examples. They would be all right here. So I'm going to add one. Yeah, so I can add one right here. Let's do sales. So this live event, I can put, okay, this is in the sales category. So it just kind of helps you categorize your products. Another thing that is beneficial with that is if I have a purchase goal, so I'm going to select purchase. Double click on that, and then I can select product in a specific category. So maybe someone just is purchasing, it's not tied to a specific product. It's not tied to my event. It's not tied to course A or B. It's just any of them in the sales or marketing category will trigger this goal. So I can select that, and then I can select sales. Done. So now that's set. Any products that I have in that category will be, this goal will achieve that. And which helps with, if all the fulfillment is the same for all the products in the same category, maybe it's a members area that you're giving them access to, you can set all that up just through the category instead of doing it individually for each product. So that's really helpful as well. How do we add people to Customer Hub if we're using it for a membership site? Good question. So for this one, I will do the new customer campaign. So this is the new customer campaign. This should definitely be a purchase goal. I think I might have changed that at some point. Go ahead and change it back. New purchase. So then, we have some emails. Welcome. Cool. Here's all the details. If we want to add them to our membership site, under process, there is already an add to Customer Hub option. So I can connect that, double click, and then I just put my Customer Hub app name. So ours is Mass Control. That is the Frank's Customer Hub. So I would just put that there and then hit save, and it would add them to that Mass Control site. It would generate a username based on their email, and it would automatically generate a password for them. So my next email could send them their login info. So I could, send them an email merged in with it with their username, which would just be the email, and their password, which is just a custom field. So very simple to do that. For those of you that are asking, Customer Hub is Infusionsoft's membership site. So it is awesome if you're using Infusionsoft because they integrate so easily, like how I just showed you. The design is, I mean, there's stuff you can do. I wouldn't say it's my favorite design of all the membership sites out there. There's some others that you kind of have a little bit more flexibility and can do a little bit more with, but it does do the trick. We use it for Legacy Collection, which is all of Frank's products. We have one bundle basically that you can purchase, and they're all stored in there. So for that purpose, it is great, and it's easy to use, and it's all controlled with tags. So if you have a membership site and you want to kind of drip out content, and you have like certain modules, like maybe module 1 is available this week, module 2 is available next week. It's all set up with tags. So all you would do is apply a tag. So this tag would be like access to module 1. So I'd set that. I'm not actually going to create it. And then you just do a timer. So this is kind of what your flow would look like if you're dripping out content. Set a timer, wait 1 week, and then run at 8 a.m. I would probably then send them, I'd apply the tag first. So then this tag is going to be access to module 2. I can send that to them and then shoot them an email that says, hey, module 2 access has now been granted. You can log in here. So right when it's available, you can send them an email and apply that tag. So that's a great way if you have a bunch of videos and content and stuff, instead of writing emails and just emailing it to them every time, you can put it all in one area. Your Customer Hub, all the videos I put up in there for the recordings of these, those are all done in Customer Hub. So you can see kind of like, you can look at the design there and be like, okay, it's pretty basic. It's maybe not as advanced as some of the other membership sites out there, but it does pretty much everything we needed to do. So a good question on that. I'm going to delete these. I still can't quite grasp the campaign links. Would you mind covering those briefly? Sure. Let me hop into another campaign because I don't think we have any in this one. Go back into the auto launch. All right, so if you are looking at the main, I'm gonna delete this sequence because, okay, if you're looking at the main campaign, you will see up at the top there is a section called campaign with a little drop down. Select that. This is where you can make a copy. You can save. If you published and want to go back to it, you can revert the changes. And then we can go to links. Click that, and it will bring up these campaign links. These are kind of central places that I can store these links and then link to in all of my emails. So the benefit of that is if I store the link here and just set the link in the email, which I'll show you how to do in a second, to this link, if I need to change those, like say I have a registration page for a webinar and I want to create a new registration page, I won't have to go through each individual link, each individual email, I should say, that I link to and change it each one at a time. I can just change it once here, and then they'll all be set. So, for instance, we'll go into auto launch, kind of the send video one. So all of these emails should be linked to the video one section in my campaign links. So you can see, I'll click the link here, very important video for you. It's under link to, campaign link, video one URL. If I click on this image, it's going to be the same thing. Oops. Pulled up the image, not the link. Campaign link, video one URL. Now I can do it with just the web address if I wanted to. I just set web address, paste the link right there. That works totally fine. Like I said, the benefit of setting the campaign link is that if I need to change it, I can do it in one central location. So again, those are both linked to video one URL, which is on the main campaign page under the links, video one URL. Hit edit, paste it there, and then just make sure you hit save, because a lot of people just like to hit close and then it doesn't change it. I do that all the time. I know other people do that as well because they've told me so. So make sure you save it, hit close, good to go. My campaign keeps having publishing errors. Jim, can you, when you say publishing errors, like like something's broken, or like when you publish it gives you like these, like kind of the yellow, hey, check this, or is it actually like giving you an error? Okay. So yeah, if it's giving you this, that's fine. The yellow is fine. So if you look at these two elements not marked as ready, so there's a timer, and it should pull me into the one where that is, and then if you click on it, it will kind of give you the options to set that. So, whoa, I may have just broke it. Let's go ahead and refresh there. Maybe that's a perfect example of what you're talking about. All right. Where was it sending me? Let's try publishing again. It was basically telling me that a timer wasn't set to ready, which is fine. I can still publish that. And emails are not personalized, meaning I read the little thing at the bottom here. It says adding a merge field to an email, creates a personal touch. If some of your emails don't have that, it's fine. You can still publish it. As long as this is still blue, just check these things. Make sure they're nothing critical to you. So these, I would delay timer. I would make sure that that's not like something critical, that something triggered on. So it says it's in the send video one. So right here, I can see there's this black delay timer. Just means I haven't set it yet. So if I double click on it, save, now it's good when I publish. So now it should say only one element not marked as ready. One element. So I'd go through that one, make sure, maybe I'm leaving it not ready on purpose because I don't want it to send, totally fine. If you are getting the red error, so over here, one of these will be red, then that is something you need to fix. It means that will not let you publish. It's like, hey, we can't run this campaign because this is, a critical error. So make sure on that that you figure out what that is. The most common one I've seen is link click goals for whatever reason. So I have one here. I think, let me see if I can find an example. I think for when we publish these campaigns, when we push them into your app, it does something weird that it doesn't like the link clicks that we drag in. So that's usually the case. I think I fixed them all in here. Let's see, maybe there's one in survey siphon. See if we can go through it in real time. No. So anyway, so generally it's going to be a link click. Just double click on the link, make sure all those are set. Sometimes you might need to delete it and then re-drag out the goal and reconfigure it again. Every time I've done that, it has worked. It's kind of a pain and annoying, I know, but yeah, sometimes it'll be red. Infusionsoft doesn't like when we push them in just for those, and it just happens a couple of times. But everything else, yeah, you should be fine. All right. Real quickly, can you show how we tag based on an opt-in form? Yeah. So super basic. You're not actually tagging them on the form. I think that's where some people get confused. So he asked, can I show you how I would tag someone based on which form they opted in from? So I'm just going to set up 2 opt-ins, opt-in A, save it, come on. Come on. There it goes. Computer is spinning. I don't know if this is Infusionsoft or our internet. Could be both. Wow. Okay. Let's try this again. Basically, all you're going to do is drag out a sequence from that opt-in and then tag them in that sequence. So opt-in B. All right, a little bit faster. So then we just have our sequence, connect it. First thing I do in this sequence is just apply a tag. That would be, opted into form B, opted into form A, and then you can kind of check there. So pretty easy to set up, and then you can send, whatever emails or something if you want. And if you have the same kind of marketing after, you could have both of these just converge into one. So I don't have any timers, just apply that tag, and then they can all spit back into the same kind of central sequence. And here you can, send the lead magnet delivery or whatever, assuming it's the same, or whatever, marketing you're going to send them. So you can just kind of have your forms. They can all tag them and then spit them into the same campaign and kind of go through the campaign as normal. Cool. Does anyone else have any questions? Looks like those covered them all on here. I'll sit tight for a minute and delete all of this stuff while I wait. Nope, it does not look like it. So thank you guys for hopping on. No, we got one. How does Infusionsoft know how to run all of the elements that aren't connected to a campaign? I am not sure if I know what you mean. So, like elements. What do you mean what do you mean aren't connected in a campaign? Like they're just kind of floating? Or like a web form? So if they're a web form, okay, so I added this this opt-in It's not connected to anything, but as soon as it is filled out, it will run. So as soon as someone fills out this form, that's what it's connected to, no matter where they are. If they fill out this form, this campaign is going to start, because this is the first goal of the campaign. So if it's floating kind of by itself, then if that goal is achieved, it will start. So if I have a campaign, with a bunch of stuff, and then over here, not connected, I have a random tag. Again, it can't be connected to anything. If at any point someone gets this tag, this sequence will start. So even though it's not connected to anything, since it's technically a starting point because there's nothing prior to it, if they get this tag, this sequence will run. Now, if I had it set up like this, only the people that filled in this form would get started in the campaign, because this is the first goal. So there always has to be a first goal. If I had it set up like this, like there's this first opt-in form, goes to this sequence, and then there's this tag that will go to this sequence. If I wanted people to be able to start right here and hit this little corner icon where it has apply the tag, this goal can be achieved by, so you can see it's set to contacts in this campaign. So that means only the contacts in this campaign will achieve this goal and be sent into that sequence. Now I can change that to any contact, and you'll notice that a little person will appear. So what I just did is made that an entry point. Entry point meaning they can start the campaign right there. They don't have to start from back here. You'll notice on this one, this is kind of grayed out because it's the first goal in the campaign. So it has to be achieved by any contact because there's nowhere else for them to enter. So it's the very first thing. So anytime a goal is just kind of floating by itself and there's nothing previous, then it's going to be an entry point. Make sense? Cool. Well, looks like that is it. So thank you guys. I will post the recording of this. I have to upload it to Wistia and stuff, so it usually takes a couple of hours, but it will be posted in there. If you have any additional questions, let me know, and I will talk to you soon.